The moment you defend yourself, you lose power. Most people don't get this. They think explaining things brings clarity. They think defending themselves brings justice. It doesn't. It brings weakness. The human mind doesn't reward explanations. It rewards confidence. And nothing signals confidence more than silence. When someone accuses you, challenges you, or doubts you, they aren't searching for the truth. They're searching for a reaction. Your defense feeds them. Your silence starves them. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He saw that power isn't maintained by proving you're innocent, but by refusing to appear affected. An accusation is a test, and most people fail it instantly. They rush to explain. They overjustify. They expose their emotions. And emotion is information. The more you speak, the more people learn where to attack you next. Silence removes that advantage. When you stay silent, something uncomfortable happens. The accuser loses control of the narrative. They expected panic. They expected resistance. They expected fear. Instead, they meet calm. And calm is unsettling. Silence forces the other person to fill the empty space. The human mind hates a vacuum, so it starts imagining. What do they know? Why aren't they reacting? Did I misjudge the situation? Doubt turns inward. The accusation collapses under its own weight. Machiavelli warned that defending yourself places you beneath the judge. Silence places you above them. A person who explains submits to evaluation. A person who stays silent becomes unreadable. And unreadable people are dangerous because they cannot be predicted. Most conflicts are won not by argument, but by psychological positioning. When you defend yourself, you accept the frame that you are guilty until proven innocent. When you stay silent, you reject the frame entirely, and rejection is power. People assume the loudest voice is the strongest. That is false. The strongest person often speaks the least. Silence communicates certainty. It says, I don't need your approval. I don't recognize your authority. This threatens insecure people, so they escalate. They push harder. They accuse louder. And each escalation exposes their own desperation. Meanwhile, you remain silent, still, unmoved. Observers notice this. Power isn't about convincing your attacker. It's about influencing the audience. When others see you unmoved by an accusation, they associate you with strength. When they see someone emotional and defensive, they associate them with instability. Machiavelli understood crowds better than individuals. Crowds trust presence, not proof. They follow composure, not explanation. That's why rulers in the past spoke less and acted decisively. Words invite debate. Silence ends it. Your defense keeps the conflict alive. Silence lets it die. There's another reason silence works. Most accusations aren't meant to destroy you. They're meant to test you, to see how much power you think you have. When you defend yourself, you admit you are uncertain. When you remain silent, you signal absolute confidence, and confidence rewrites perception. people start to reinterpret the accusation itself. Maybe it wasn't true. Maybe it was exaggerated. Maybe it was just manipulation. The accuser becomes suspicious. The accused becomes respected. Silence flips the entire power dynamic. This is why experienced leaders don't explain themselves. They decide. They act, and they let the consequences do the talking. Machiavelli wrote that authority weakens the moment it tries to justify itself. Justification invites negotiation. Negotiation invites challenge. Challenge invites collapse. Silence avoids all three. But silence is not passivity. It is restraint. And restraint terrifies people who rely on your reaction. Not everyone can use silence effectively. It requires emotional control. It requires patience. It requires the ability to endure discomfort. Most people speak to relieve their own tension. The powerful remain silent and let others break first. By staying quiet, you force the other person to reveal themselves, their motives, their insecurities, their need for validation. You learn everything while saying nothing. That is asymmetric power. But your silence must be clean. No eye-rolling, no smirking. No visible irritation, just pure stillness. An emotionless presence. Because silence mixed with emotion is just another form of weakness. But silence mixed with calm becomes dominance. Machiavelli never advised constant confrontation. He advised control. And silence is control over your impulses. Control over the narrative. Control over perception. When someone attacks you publicly, they want a spectacle. Silence denies them the show. The audience grows uncomfortable, and that discomfort shifts their sympathy. People begin to question the attacker, not you. This is how silence weaponizes time. Every second you remain calm, the pressure increases on the other side. They have to either escalate or retreat. Escalation exposes their cruelty. Retreat exposes their failure. Either way, you win without speaking a single word. Silence is not about avoiding conflict. It's about choosing the battlefield. Words are a battlefield designed for chaos. Silence is a battlefield designed for authority. Machiavelli understood one final truth. People fear what they cannot read. They fear what does not react. They fear what remains unmoved. Silence creates mystery. Mystery creates distance, and distance creates power. So the next time you are accused, challenged, or disrespected, do not rush to defend yourself. Let your silence speak for you. Because the strongest position is not innocence proven, it is confidence unshaken. If you want to master more principles of power and psychology, make sure you follow for more. Thanks for watching.